tonight on KSL Outdoors.
I found Christ through football.
We'll introduce you to a former NFL player who came to Utah to hunt elk and found much more. Plus,
There it is.
Nice shot.
it's the annual waterfowl hunt for the kids.
Big bulls and ducks for the kids coming up next.
KSL Outdoors with Adam Eakle is brought to you by your local Ford stores.
He's even got you wearing your seatbelt.
You'll be wearing yours too here in a couple seconds. You'll see
Now
why.
you guys quit talking about my driving. It's not that bad.
Welcome to KSL Outdoors. Meet my buddy Troy Woodruff, an elk hunter and former NFL linebacker Josh Hull. Troy is a guide for Strawberry Bay Outfitters, and Josh is here from Pennsylvania trying to bag a big bull with his bow on the Wasatch Limited Entry Elk Unit.
Troy and I have been going back and forth for, I don't know, what month? June? Since June. And it was the first thing when he picked me up. He said, you know what, this is good to put a face to all these conversations I had. And I said, Troy, you know what? I said, I already feel like I know you and I've never met you. So it's it's another thing, the camaraderie and just the brotherhood with hunting. There's not many things in the world that you can do to connect on a personal level with somebody like that without ever meeting them and just get off to the right foot immediately.
Troy and Josh are headed to their tree stand set above a wallow that have been getting hit pretty regularly.
I film bulls almost every morning up in this clearing here. They feed up every morning and bed in these trees. Yeah, so this is obviously where we're climbing in, getting into the stands here.
It's been really good. We've seen a handful of cows, a lot more than we've actually expected. I think Troy said that we've seen more cows this year alone in 3 days than he has seen in probably the last 4 or 5 years combined. So that's been encouraging. We've had a lot of action on the stand. We get to see a cow moose about every single day. We've had some bears make a presence that gave us a little scare earlier on in the week, and the deer are all over the place. I think we've seen 2 or 3 raghorns that we could have killed on the water, but decided to pass on them early in the hunt. I'm super impressed. I'm an eastern guy, so this is my first trip west, my first opportunity to hunt elk with my bow, or elk period for that matter. And there's a couple of them coming in that if I see, I'm not going to have to look up for the yay or nay. I know it's going to be go time.
We catch up with Troy and Josh on their fourth 15-hour day in their stands.
The morning started off rather slow. We had a few mule deer trickle in, which is typical.
We'd had some action real late into the morning. Had 10 cows and a bull come within about 50 yards, and just wind swirled on us, got the bad wind, busted them out. Just sitting there, probably about half asleep, and just spun to my left, and here he is at almost 40 yards already, and hadn't made a sound, hadn't made any kind of noise at all, and comes around the tree, and I'm reaching for a camera and I'm reaching for twigs to throw on Josh's head because he hadn't seen the bull yet.
About 12:30, I just reached into my pack for a handful of snacks and stuffed my mouth full of snacks, and out of my peripheral I caught movement, and here comes this great bull right up the edge of the water hole. He came in 1:45, and I think he was in there for probably about 1.5 minutes or 2 minutes. And I knew if we was patient enough that he'd give us the shot that we wanted, and he turned and opened his vitals up, and I was able to put an arrow in him. Up and down was pretty good, left and right was pretty good. If anything, it was a little touch high. He barreled off and ran into the oak brush, and thought we heard him crash, and we were going to go in and try to find him. But we had a pretty difficult decision to make. There was a storm coming through. We shot him at 12:30, and we made the decision at about 2:30 to start going in because we knew the rain was going to come. We tracked him for about 150 to 200 yards. It was bleeding really, really well, and we got onto his bed, and he was in there. We didn't see him, it was so thick with the oak brush. And before you know it, we saw his antlers pop up, and I didn't have time to get an arrow knocked, and he just slowly, as could be, just kind of walked off. So we think that he's hurt pretty bad. We decided when he walked off to sit down, and then we got stuck in a pretty bad storm on the mountain. I mean, we left all of our gear at the tree stand. I was in my t-shirt, hailing, pouring down rain. It got into the 40s and it was cold.
As the sun set over a smoky Wasatch front, The guys decided to back out and come back the next morning with some more help. More on Josh's hunt coming up, plus how an NFL teammate helped Josh come closer to God. But first, let's check out this week's climate quiz question. The bow and arrow is an ancient weapon. History shows the earliest rock points that could have gone on the end of an arrow date to 71,000 years ago. The earliest concrete proof of bow and arrows being used comes from cave paintings in the Valtorta Gorge in Spain. These paintings date to 20,000 BC. The design of these ancient bows are replicated today in high-performance compound bows. A compound bow is a bow using a levering system of cables and pulleys to bend the limbs. Our climate quiz question tonight is, who invented the first compound bow? Now, once you know the name of this person, log on to our KSL Outdoors Facebook page, give us the correct answer. We'll then randomly select and announce a winner on our page the following week. The winner set to receive a Climate Static V sleeping pad. Climate, comfortable, rugged, and lightweight. KSL Outdoors, powered by Ford. We'll be right back on The Hunt.
KSL Outdoors is also brought to you by Smith & Edwards, Fish Tech Outfitters, Utah State Parks, Burt Brothers, Climate, King's Camo, and Camp Chef.
It was a sleepless night. These nights are never fun. It's like you said, been here before, not with the elk, but with the whitetails. It's never an enjoyable night, but I think at the end of the day we made the right decision. I'm encouraged today we have a good group of guys, and hopefully we can stumble in upon them and find them first thing this morning.
Welcome back to KSL Outdoors. Well, it's day 5. Troy has called Lane Young and myself to help them look for Josh's bull.
He was bedded right there in that little group of trees right there.
Yeah, so
We jumped him about right here.
we come right here looking at the blood and was looking down at the ground, and he come out of those trees right there.
Josh had a pretty extensive football career. He started playing when he was 12. He walked on at Penn State and later earned a starting inside linebacker position for the Nittany Lions. In 2010, Josh went pro, getting drafted by the St. Louis Rams in the 7th round. Josh was released by the Rams just 3 years later. It was the first time since he was 12 that Josh didn't have football in his life.
And I was super confused as to kind of who I was as a person. And I thought that I was just a football player and identified with my profession. And I was super difficult to navigate through that. I'm a fixer. I try to fix all kinds of problems in my life, other than my family's life, and there's just situations I couldn't fix. And I kept trying to and couldn't get it fixed. At the same time, James Laurinaitis was my best friend in St. Louis, a very strong Christian man. He's St. Louis's all-time leading tackler. And every morning he was the first person there, and he was always reading the Bible. And I knew him and I became very close friends, and I knew what he was dealing with off the field. And then every Sunday he'd come and show out. He always led the team in tackles, always, I mean, he was the golden boy in St. Louis. And finally one day I walked into the locker room and kind of like another aha moment. I'm like, maybe this book is the secret to James's success. For 2 years straight when I was in St. Louis, James called me every Saturday night to go to church. And for 2 years straight, I had an excuse not to go. So I did that day that it snapped. I'm like, he's gonna call me this Saturday and I'm gonna say yes for once. And I did it, and that was kind of what led me down the path. The one thing that I'm so thankful for, I found Christ through football, and it completely just altered my mindset and kind of my sense of worth, and made a huge difference towards the man that I am today.
Josh's faith in his shot and his newfound friends were rewarded. A half hour into our search, and Troy has found Josh's arrow.
I think we found an arrow here, and there looks like there might be something attached to it.
Oh. Yes. What a relief, huh?
Oh,
look at that.
Man, what a day.
I expected it to be. Oh my goodness.
Oh man, what a relief.
I told Troy one of the biggest parts of this hunting experience for me is just the camaraderie of the guys. I mean, I don't have this in Pennsylvania in the whitetail world. Last night you show up and there's 4 or 5 guys here ready to help, and this morning we're gonna have 2 more guys coming. The camaraderie part and just sharing the stories and sharing the experiences more important to me than putting the hands on the horns. I mean, it's awesome to be able to touch these horns, but it's all the emotions and experience that kind of surrounds the whole hunting trip. So it's super thankful. It's been amazing. Yeah, thank you.
Josh earned this bull, but he did more than that. He found hunters with similar values in Strawberry Bay Outfitters. He now has friends out west who will always remember the day they spent hunting a bull on the Wasatch. He's welcome around my campfire anytime.
Everybody here, I will truly view everybody as brothers when I leave here. I mean, you said it, the big word to me that sticks out with this hunt is family.
Time now to check in with Mickey as he gives us a look at the fall fishing at Strawberry.
The wait is over. The fish have moved up. Hi, I'm Mick Anderson from Fish Tech with this week's Strawberry Reservoir Report. Strawberry's red hot, and there's a variety of ways to fish it. If you like to jig fish, use a lighter hook and keep it up in this top zone because the fish are only 3 to 5 feet deep, or put it under a bobber. If you want to bait fish, do the same thing. Put a night crawler 3 or 4 feet down under a bobber. This is a great time of year for surface lures like the whopper plopper. The fish will come all the way up and grab this off the top. Now, if you're a troller, try a Lucky Craft lure with a really long line behind your boat so that your boat doesn't scare these fish. It's a great time of year for flies, and you can do it with a bubble. This is the perfect time of year. Launch these flies out as far as you can and reel it in slow. Now, I like to fly fish, so I'm going to do that with an intermediate line. And there's a variety of colors. I swear every time somebody comes in, there's a different color they say is the only one that works. If there's another way to fly fish, and that's a balance leech under an indicator, and the favorite fly of all is a mouse. Perfect time of year to mouse fish. Tie an open loop to your fly so it wiggles freely. Cast it out, strip it in an inch at a time as fast as you can go, then pause a little bit, strip it again, and pause it again. And wait for this big mouth to come up and take it. Hey, for these strawberry tips or a whole lot more, come on down to Fish Tech and we'll help you out. Now for tonight's fishing line. Hey, welcome back to KSL Outdoors. I'm Adam Eakle. Well, it's September. The elk hunts are underway, but it also means the waterfowl season is just around the corner. And today, the youth waterfowl hunt kicks off. We got some kids, some old guns, and some new guns out with our friends, Rob and Chad.
Well, I know we've got one first timer, and then we've got my son Jace, who he's hunted one time, Aiden's hunted one time, Brooks' son's hunted just a little bit. So we got some newbies. We'll see what happens when it gets light.
I love the youth hunt. I love the fact that I don't have to take a gun. My misses aren't recorded for TV purposes. But there's a bunch of people out this morning too, which is cool. You want to see that on the youth hunt. There's a bunch of guys getting their kids out, and I mean, you wish everybody luck, right? But we want to have a little more luck than the rest of them.
I think he's excited. He's a little nervous, but I think once his heart starts thumping, as the birds start flying, I'd be curious to see what he does.
You guys ready? Shoot him, boy. Shoot him in the decoy. Ha! No, just no.
Did you get filming this one right here?
Yeah, he landed right in front of us.
It's fun. It's a good time to get out with my dad.
Shoot him right above you.
Someone got him.
There it is.
Nice shot.
That wasn't in my lane.
Smoke you. That was nice.
Better than his dad.
What I love about coming out on the youth hunt is it takes me, as far as hunting, out of the equation. I can't have a gun. I've got to be out here with my son and watching over his shoulder and coaching him on the safety.
It puts a little bit more pressure on them because they know if they're going to kill ducks, it's got to be on them. But I noticed today the birds aren't as scarce, and they're able to work the decoys a little more, those that we got to work. And so it's just a lot easier for them to kind of get ready and learn. Shoot him.
Nice.
That was you.
Good shooting, boys.
Hey, for your first hunt, what'd you think?
It was really fun.
Yeah, you got some shooting, huh?
Yeah, I had a blast.
You got your first duck?
Yep.
Coming back, right?
Yeah.
Good boy.
Austin, we didn't knock them dead, but that was still fun, huh?
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah, not too bad. Got a first one of the season, and what, 106 days left? You still got plenty of time to get your kids out. Season kicks off October 6th, and don't forget, we got 2 zones now, a northern and a southern. That late southern hunt down in central and southern Utah be pretty spectacular. Hey, more here in a moment, but first, let's check out this week's Utah Field Guide. You know, if you're heading out on a long trip or maybe heading out for this year's hunt, the last thing you want is car problems. That's why I bring my Ford, Jake, 250,000 miles going strong, and I attribute that to you guys. You guys take care of my truck.
You have regular maintenance, you know, just all that scheduled stuff, routine oil changes, rotating those tires, letting us take a look at the brakes, changing filters here and there, changing fluids. It's a tribute to that right there. It keeps it going.
What I love about you guys is I believe you have certified mechanics here that are just as good as the dealer, and you know what, a little cheaper sometimes.
Oh yeah, no, definitely ASE certified mechanics that work here. A lot of them got their starts at the dealership, so they have a lot of knowledge. We train. We're constantly training, actually, our mechanics right there to be the best, to have the best technology. All our equipment is really what the dealership's using, the best stuff out there. Our alignment racks, state-of-the-art, scan tools, you know, everything. We'll only use the best parts too, want to get you taken care of.
And Jake, I've been running the Wrangler Duratrax now for over 200,000 miles, but you guys have a ton of different brands.
Oh yeah, we carry all the major brands. You want it, we can get it for you. And you'd love our recommendations, we can take care of you.
And everything from hitches to mud flaps to even my leveling kit.
Yeah, level kits, lift kits, lights, fender flares, you know, you name it. We got all the accessories, we can take great care of you.
10 stores along the Wasatch Front and a new one right here in Highland.
That's right.
Utah County, representing.
Putting Utah County on the map.
Right. Hey, more here in a moment, but first, let's check out this week's recreation forecast. Welcome back to KSL Outdoors. Are you interested in waterfowl hunting but not sure where to start? Well, you're in luck. The DWR is teaming up with Delta Waterfowl to host a beginner's waterfowl seminar October 24th at the new Eakle Wildlife Education Center in Farmington. Spots are limited, so be sure to sign up online before the event. For the link to sign up, go to our Outdoors calendar page on the Outdoors section at ksltv.com. Big group of guys coming down here to help Josh pull this bull out, and it'll be a good climb out of here, that's for sure.
Yes, yep.
And a lot of good memories. Well, some memories to be made here as we get ready for this hike out of here. And don't forget, when you make some cool memories like this on your first bull, take lots of pictures, submit them to our snapshot contest this year. You might win our big prize from Camp Chef. Now the best of the week, our snapshot of the week. We kick it off with a great general season bull for young Dax. This is the first elk Dax has ever taken, and he found him on the opening morning of the Utah Youth Elk Hunt. Dax, a lot of grown men have waited a long time to claim such a trophy. Great job, kid. Bryce has been chasing tiger muskie for 10 years and finally has surpassed that magical 50-inch mark with this giant 52.5-inch fatty. Bryce says he was fishing with his 2 good luck charms, his son and daughter, and he says, besides his kids, this fish was one of his greatest catches. Here's another tiger for you, but this one is a monster trout. Christine spent a week riding the famous Paiute ATV trail down in southern Utah. He said, after some riding, it was time to go fishing, and after several casts at a Monroe Mountain Lake, he latched into this monster tiger trout. Christine says the beast put up quite a fight. Willie says it's always a good day when you catch a fish, but when you catch 2 monster strawberry slop busters, it's even better. Dad, of course, caught the bigger of the fish. His is 24 inches long, his son's 22.5. A fun day catching cutthroat at the Berry. But our winner tonight has found a new way to target some fish. Andy Schumann was up at Echo State Park and noticed an abundance of carp, so he went out and purchased a fishing bow and started to practice. Andy says it took some time to learn how to aim with the reflection of the water and how to approach the carp without them seeing the shadow of the boat, but once he did, he ended up slaying some huge carp with his bow. Andy says it was a blast figuring out how to bow fish. Well, Andy, here's looking forward to next season of chasing carp with your bow, as you just won our Snapshot of the Week. Remember, submit your pictures or video, plus an explanation of your latest outdoor adventures online at ksltv.com. The winner each week wins the new Striker multi-fuel stove in King's Camo. Perfect for a car camp or to just take on the hunt. Plus, the winner is also entered into our Ford Trucks quarterly Facebook giveaway for a Camp Chef pellet grill.
From the backcountry to your back patio, Camp Chef, the way to cook outdoors.
This was a great bowl, a lot of effort put into it, and still got one more for Ty.
Yeah, Ty Detmer's up here hunting, and I think we do have to point out when he played Penn State twice when he was in college, he lost both times. So far you're losing, Ty. You better bring his A game.
Yeah, we better not say that too loud because yesterday he pushed me down.
Did he? Did he? Oh, shoot. Well, it's shaping up to be a good year. The archery hunts are underway. Looks like you're going to have some awesome bulls this year.
Oh, we are. We're so excited about our elk population right now. Shout out to DNR for having just great opportunities for our clients, and got a great lineup for the next 4 hunts.
Who knows, you too might draw out with 0 points and bag the biggest bull of your life. I'm Adam Eakle, KSL Outdoors. We'll see you next weekend. Good night.